Oh, yeah.
What's going on, people? It's your boy Remy, and I'm back today to talk to you about The Witcher 3 and how a lot of these Sony guys that were talking about the Xbox guys saying that, they had the weaker version. The reviews just came out of The Witcher 3, played on the PlayStation 4, and they said it's buggy, it's glitchy, and it suffers from frame rate issues. But it's 1080p. It is 1080p. But hey, get what you asked for. So let's get into it.
Oh, yeah. Get some. So what's up, people? It's your boy Remy, and yeah, man, I've been looking at the reviews, and they've been saying that, the PlayStation version of The Witcher 3 is a bit buggy. It's a little janky, and even a lot of the people from IGN, the GameSpot, they were saying, well, maybe they shouldn't have tried so much for 1080p and focus more on 30 frames per second, which I've been saying, but the Sony guys I talked to, they were like, well, whatever, Xbox can't do it, period. I'm like, well, don't worry about Xbox. How about you worry about Sony and the fact that they're giving you games pushing for a 1080p that they can't really do, and they give you these janky games and you just accept it. You have games like Bloodborne, which was like 18 frames per second. Like, why? Just make it 1080p. I mean, make it 900p or 800p or whatever. It'll still look good. It'll still be a good looking game. You act like the resolution is gonna downplay the graphics of the game, but no, they want to tout this 1080p, and then the game plays janky. I don't really understand the logic behind that. Like, I'd much rather have a game have a stable frame rate at 60 or 30 than you give me something that's bouncing up and down the whole time I'm playing it. I don't really understand the logic behind that. Now, what The Witcher, as big as this game is, and as many things that you're going to be seeing on the screen, you would think, if I die, I want to die because, maybe I made bad choices as far as like the weapon I chose or, the ability that I tried to execute. No, I don't want to die because of frame rate issues and bugs or something that looks like it's supposed to be there, but it's not there, and then it pops in at the last second. Like they've been saying that on the PlayStation, if you fast travel, that people don't show up for a good couple of seconds until after. That'd be like if you did the fast travel on Grand Theft Auto, right? And nobody's on the street. You're just watching, you hear stuff, but you don't see anybody. And then all of a sudden, bam, they just pop in like cars and people and all that. That's crazy, man. Like, why subject yourself to that if you could have just eliminated just by, just toning down the resolution? I mean, like I said, it's not like the game is going to look bad. You're not really sacrificing much when you tone down the resolution, other than some myth that PlayStation games are supposed to do 1080p, which they dropped to 60 frames per second. They were like, oh, 1080p, 60 frames per second. And then they were like, well, forget 60 frames. Let's just focus on 1080p. It's easier to aim for. But I'm like, unless you're playing the game and not moving, you don't even really get to enjoy 1080p 60 frames per second. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, unless you're literally all you do is want to play games that you walk around in, you're not going to see the real difference between 1080p. Now 60 frames per second you will see. Once you do start moving around, it becomes apparent, oh man, this game is not at 60 frames per second, because I keep on getting that chugging slowdown. Like, man, Sony, they gotta get their priorities straight. I don't know what they thinking over there, man. I don't know. And then you got the Xbox version of The Witcher coming out with dynamic scaling, so now they can jump between 800, 900p and 1080p. So you don't have the frame rate issues. Like, really, you're gonna let Microsoft get this kind of advantage on a big title like The Witcher just so you want to tout some 1080p? That just makes no sense to me. I don't understand what Sony's doing. They would have been better off at 900p or 720p than to have their frame rate jumping and bugging and be all buggy, and they have all these pop-ins, and like I don't get it. Like why are you gonna taint the game? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the game's bad on PS4, like it's like some unplayable thing. Oh, of course not. The game is very good. Regardless of which console you buy it on, you will be able to enjoy it. It's not going to be that much of a difference. You know, the differences are minute, but it's just that the simple fact that they decided to go for this 1080p over frame rates, man. And you know this, man.